Welcome, family. It is your favorite chef, Odera, and today I'm gonna teach you how I make tofu bean avocado heaven. This is by far one of my favorite dishes in my entire fictitious cookbook because it's easy and so incredibly delicious. I don't know, I just really like this recipe. So we'll get straight into it. What you'll need is one avocado, one can of dark red kidney beans, some olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, garlic salt, and tofu, specifically firm or extra firm tofu. You'll also need a saucepan or frying pan and a quarter teaspoon. Okay, so here we have the package of tofu, and I'm just going to open it. Normally, I don't know if you guys can see in the bottom left, at least on the screen, or right hand corner, the corner where my hands are right now, there's usually like a thing where you can just kind of slide off the lid, but it really wasn't working with me today, so I just decided to go rogue and use a knife. But basically what I'm doing right now is just opening the tofu. So one thing to know about tofu is that, well, okay, let me back up. This recipe is only going to use half a pack of tofu, or half a pack of this amount of tofu if you buy this much. It usually comes in this much. Sometimes they package it in like half as much, but anyway, if you buy this exact product, we're only going to use half. And they store tofu in water, so what you see here is me just draining the tofu, and then I'm going to cut it in half. So the half that I don't use right now, I will put in a Ziploc bag, and then also fill that Ziploc bag with water, because you have to store tofu in water in order to preserve it, and then put it in the fridge, of course. So here we're at the stove, and I'm just gonna drop in a tablespoon of olive oil. This is optional. When I was trying to lose weight but still eat this recipe, I sometimes wouldn't add the olive oil, but I like it, so it's really up to you. I don't think it's a huge loss either way, especially because the avocado already adds so much fat and flavor. But I do use olive oil. Now, normally I would wait. Normally I would wait for the olive oil to heat up before I cook the first thing that I cook olive oil in. But one thing with this recipe is that if you heat the olive oil first and then put in the tofu, because tofu has so much water, as you can see, I mean, the oil splatter will be out of this world. So you save yourself the burn and the hassle, and just put it in before you start the fire and incorporate everything together. I mean, in an ideal world, especially if you go on YouTube and YouTube or search how to cook tofu, a lot of people kind of dry out the tofu first in some way, shape, or form. But that takes minimum an hour, minimum. Sometimes it takes 6 hours overnight. It's just not necessary. In an ideal world, I would like to get that sear, because you can get that with tofu, and I might make a recipe like that. Actually, I might not, because there's a lot of splatter, but yeah, the reason why I just kind of shied away from that is because it really gets chaotic. So now I'm just adding I think 3/4 teaspoon to the tofu. Yeah, I'm gonna add the last quarter teaspoon later. I'm pretty sure, but sorry, I'm just cooking. I think I'm cooking on high heat. Yeah, it's a really simple recipe. I do like to add the beans right away. You can honestly just add them from the beginning if you want to. Sometimes I don't even know why I cook things in the order that I do. I don't know, it's just kind of what I feel like doing at the time. But here, I don't know why I show you guys me draining beans. Like, it's not rocket science, but I don't know, I just don't want there to be any confusion about how to replicate this dish. So yes, drain the beans, you don't need the liquid. I sometimes leave a little bit of liquid if I want the dish that I'm creating to be a little bit more fluid or liquidy. But for the most part, drain it, and then now we can incorporate beans into the dish. So yeah, and part of the reason why I don't like go to great lengths to really drain the beans sometimes is because it'll kind of add that added lubrication to the pan. I mean, I'm already working on a non-stick pan, which is great, but it just kind of adds that extra lubrication, which is quite nice. So we're just cooking. Sometimes I have this theory that the longer I cook like canned beans, the softer it gets, but I don't think that's real. Here is the last quarter teaspoon that I told you was coming. And yeah, we're just cooking. At this point, it's really up to you. Honestly, you could eat this entire recipe fresh. Tofu does not need to be cooked. The canned beans do not need to be cooked. And the avocado that's coming later doesn't need to be cooked. I just kind of cook it just because I want to cook, I guess, or just because I like warm food. Even though I guess I could warm it in the microwave, but I don't know. I guess I just like the cooking incorporation process, and yeah, I'm tasting the food to make sure it's not too salty or not under salted. But 3/4 teaspoon seems to be just right. I don't even know what I'm narrating at this point. It's just me moving food around. Okay, so when you've cooked it to your desired, cookedness, you could just turn off the heat. And here we're just going to dice an avocado. I was very pleased to find that this avocado wasn't already spoiled, because they spoil quickly. For some reason, it's summer in El Paso right now. They spoil very quickly, so I'm very happy to find that these are not spoiled. Now, for anyone who wants to judge the way I peel an avocado, I don't even know what to say to you. I didn't notice that I had a weird way of like peeling avocado until I was on a camping trip at Stanford, and like everybody was just like, what? And I was like, isn't this how you peel an avocado? So if you don't want to get your thumb all in the avocado, you can just kind of what they do, you could probably Google this too, they just kind of like insert the knife with the skin on it and then scoop it out. I don't know, I never really liked that, but you could do that if you want. I do think it's more sanitarian, and there is that. I don't even know how they take out the seed. I just kind of bite it out, which I know is not the most sanitary, but whatever. So anyway, we're just kind of dicing our avocado and throwing it in the pan. I don't even know why I said it's unsanitary. I'm the one eating this dish at the end of the day, so anyway, just wash your hands before you cook. That's all I can say. And yeah, so I mix it up. I don't really like cooking the avocado unless it's a little underripe and it's a little too firm, a little too stiff, and I just want to soften it up. But for the most part, I feel like the heat of the tofu and the beans will soften the avocado sufficiently, so I'm just kind of mixing it up. It's such a beautiful dish too. I just love this dish. I love it so much. And there you have it, tofu bean avocado heaven. This is probably an all-star in the 15 minutes or less category. The video is only 10 minutes because I had to film it, but yeah, here's the price per meal breakdown, and the recipe, nutrition facts, and yeah, you guys know what to do. Comment, share, like, subscribe, and have a nice day. Bye.